Hi students, and welcome to week 10 in your Lifespan Growth and Development online class. This week we are going to be still studying adolescence just like we did last week, but this week we'll take a deeper dive and closer look at the psychosocial development in adolescence. So I think you already know from your own experience as well as from what we studied last week with just the body and mind part of adolescence that there's a lot going on in adolescence. So this chapter probably is relatable just in the sense that most of us remember our teenage years and some of the angst and stress and trying to fit in and the social pressures and so forth. So that is what you will be studying for the week. You have several different assignments here that I want to talk about. The first is the quiz for chapter 10. You have, of course, the PowerPoint in here, and then here's the quiz. I also put a TED Talk in here as well as a video on teen social development. There's not an assignment connected to those. Those are mostly for you just to check out and get some more deeper information about what we're studying about this week. But your big assignment for the weekend, and of course, this is part of your Lifespan Growth and Development project. As I remind you, I've broken it up throughout the semester. You've been working on it. And these are those requirements to satisfy your honors assignment, is a critical analysis of a scholarly journal article. Don't let that scare you. I know that's a mouthful and sounds so like such a big deal. It's really not. So this assignment will meet the student learning outcome number 2, which is discuss the social, political, economic, and cultural forces that affect the development process of the individual. So here what I want you to do is to choose a topic and anything from human development. So it can be a previous stage of life we've looked at. Maybe you want to do something on prenatal or infancy. Maybe adolescence, the one we're in now, or a stage of life that we're coming to. So just pick a topic related to human development that interests you. And so the book, I mean, anything in the book is fair game. So just kind of flip through and see what topics from your textbook that you're most interested in. I do, of course, want you to use the SAC library and to use a peer review article. I have a video on how to search that. There's a lot of resources, but basically, just in a nutshell, if you go to the SAC homepage and in the search bar, put library, you'll have to hit that magnifying glass. The second link, it's usually the second link for me, is direct access into the library. And from there, you can choose your search. I would say for this, a good database to use are psych articles, and then do a search from there. That will give you a peer-reviewed article. So once you have read your article, you've chosen an article, and then you've read that article, use these questions to help guide your response. So when you analyze an article, you're looking at things like, what was the big research question? What were these researchers trying to answer? So you can talk about that based upon the article that you found. What research question was examined? So this is where you'll see, and if you'll remember, peer-reviewed articles are broken down by the subheadings. So you'll have a methods section. You can see who the participants were, how they were going to investigate them. I'm kind of moving down here on 3 research subjects. Who are the participants? One of the things that we want to make sure of that any research is done is representative of the entire population. So if they just used a certain group of people and that doesn't represent the overall population and may not there be applicable, then is that really helpful research? So that's one of the things you might want to start thinking about as you're reading through. Is there diversity in all areas of the participants that they used? Is the demographics, the ethics, the socioeconomic status, all of those types of things. What were the interpretations made of the findings? Now, just a review, when you're going through peer-reviewed articles, there will be parts, and expect this, that just bog you down with stats or, you know, getting real down in the weeds. And unless you're involved in that research, you may not be fully understanding. Muddle your way through that. That's very normal to feel like, excuse me, you don't understand all parts of the article. But when you get down to the discussion part of your peer-reviewed articles is usually where they summarize their findings. So don't stop, keep on, make it through there. And so you'll see what their findings were. Did it support their hypothesis, which is, of course, their research question? And you know, what are the implications of the research? How practical is it for us? Can we use that information to make changes, to make things better, etc.? And then number 6 here, I'm kind of asking you, you know, what should they have done more of? Was there an area that they should have explored further? What would part 2 of the research project look like? Did anything about their research or their findings surprise you? And then number 7 is, where do you think they could have done a better job? So, you know, not only what did they do right, talk about that, but also where do you think they misstepped? Where do you think they could improve their study? So again, really when you're writing this, use these questions as your guide. Some, you know, every article will be different. Some will lend themselves to perfectly answer these questions. Others, you might have to adjust the questions a little bit based upon the article you find. That's completely fine. So this is just a guideline, a framework of how you critically analyze a journal article. So beyond it being written, you know, at college level and being thorough, you of course need to cite. Make sure you're looking at the grading rubric for this. You need to cite in APA format the article that you found and that you're using and that you're critically analyzing. So you just need one article because the assignment is to analyze just one article. And you'll find that in a peer-reviewed journal through the SAC library is my suggestion. And paragraph format is just fine. I don't, you know, again with me, it's never about meeting a certain minimum or maximum word count or paragraph count or what have you. I'm just looking for thoroughness. And to be honest with you, some of you will find and use a journal article that's 20 pages long, and others of you might find a 2-page or a 3-page. So the length is going to vary greatly based upon the article that you find. As long as you have thoroughly analyzed using these 7 questions, your journal article, that's what I'm looking for, not a certain length. Don't forget to cite the journal article and make sure it's an APA. So I hope that helps. So for this week, this is your assignment that fits into the overall project, of course, and then of course you'll have your quiz over this chapter. So just a couple reminders again. Summer registration is underway, so if you want to register for the summer, make sure you get a jump on that. And you know, here we are, week 10. It's going to fly by. By the time you turn this stuff in on Sunday, April 3rd, we'll be into the month of April. So hang on tight. We are going to move. It seems like at warp speed. The second part of the spring semester is super fast, and we'll be done before you know it. As always, reach out to me if you have any questions. Have a great day, everybody.